Welcome to Miss Martin Muses and Pub Crawl. Is it another night of pub crawl and our season finale because we have now visited 13 pubs or maybe 12 and we are needing an IV. It's time for us all to go home and none other than we have Nina Infinity. So good to see you back on Miss Martin Muses.
Hi, yes. Thank you for having me on. It's been a while since I've been on here, but it's good to be back.
Yay. Yeah. Back in the day, quarantine minds in the middle of the night, we went all night
Yeah,
because we were all going insane.
we were talking about the most random stuff.
Yeah.
It was just like, what are we even talking about anymore?
Yeah.
It was weird.
A lot of
Weird
those
times.
got struck. I had to delete them all. Well, because they were ultra sensitive. Because they didn't want you to talk about the beer virus, and
Yeah.
so you mentioned it, and then boom, the stream would get shut down.
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh,
well, back then we didn't really know anything anyway. We were just all like, why are we locked in our homes? Like that
yeah,
was basically the conversation.
yeah, and we were just trying to stay sane and all that. But and we got some folks in our chat. We have some animals. We have Snorted Pupus Crew Burr from his iceberg. Thank you for being here. Soul Assassin, thank you. Oh, he's having a double Irish whiskey. Okay, I'm having
Ooh,
nothing but water at this point.
same.
Evening ladies in chat. Yes, yeah. I have coffee for real. I have coffee. Of course,
Ooh.
we don't actually drink, or at least I don't actually drink during pub crawl. It's all LARPing here because, yeah, no alcohol is involved with
Fake
this show.
news, Teresa. Oh my God. How dare you?
Well, I always say the full disclosure. I cannot tell a lie. Hey, Corey Cochran here, and thank you to Zach. Oh, well, usually on pub crawl, the guest is in charge, in the driver's seat, and what happens is we talk about the topic that the guest wishes to speak. And then by the end of the evening, we do a roll 7 where there are random questions. I roll
Ooh.
a d20 7 times, and the guest gets to answer, and it can be as tame or as insane as the guest chooses. So,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Okay. The little DND in this game too. Okay. All right.
Hell yes. I've been living by the dice since we played. Well, Nina was part of our team. We about 2 years, I think, and then
Mm-hmm.
things got busy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
We did D&D, and then we did some Conan, and now if you do follow Nina and Fiddy's channel, she's been playing Conan Exiles with a group of people. What Script Doctor, Jane Theory. I think Sporking might join. I don't know. One of these days he's going to
I
figure it out.
heard, well, I mean, he shared his Steam account. So,
Yeah.
and I think Script Doctor was like helping him set up. So I think it's happened. And I'm kind of
Yeah.
excited to play with Sporking News podcast. Like that's gonna be kind of cool to play with him.
Yeah, one
It'll
of these days
be
I'm gonna
interesting.
figure out how to do the sharing thing. I only know how to do Xbox. So
Yeah, because well, on Conan, it's not cross-platform, so you can't play on like because we're all on PC
yeah.
and you're on Xbox, unfortunately, so they don't do that,
Yeah.
which kind of sucks. But
Yeah, it's all
yeah.
right. But anyways, well, I was gonna say there's a variety of topics that we can talk about. I didn't know there were a few that you chose or that you mentioned backstage. I didn't know. Well, we could go to Sweden and talk about Greta Thunberg. Well, why is she in the news? You mentioned she was in the news.
Well, she got quote unquote arrested again. And we all know that usually like those things are well straight up like set up. Like it's
Hmm.
like, and I thought it was funny because the picture that they shared, they don't show the police's face. So it's like they're only like zooming in on her. And it just looks like it's like it looks so staged because they like it's probably because the cops were like laughing as they're like holding her because that's what happened the last time and everyone was like oh my god this is so staged because they like released the video and the cops were like laughing as they were holding her up
Oh,
and so now they're just releasing pictures with the cop's face like not even in it.
oh, that's
um
ridiculous.
yeah, like I put the picture in the private chat for you if you want to pull it up.
Oh, okay, sure. And hopefully I won't boomer the situation.
But even if you do, that's even funnier,
Oh
so.
gosh, yeah. Well, my main concern is whenever I share these things that I don't accidentally share private conversations
Oh, I
'cause
know.
oh, I do not wanna unfollow, gosh. Alright. Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go. Let me bring this up. I'm gonna share the screen. Well, you know what I usually don't have a lot of exciting things in my DMs, but it would be the one time where I'm like, "Gosh, look at that," I
Yeah.
ran that person's a dick or something, and then you're like, "Oh, crap." Alright, so here we are. You can see it there we are. She's not very afraid. She doesn't look very upset.
No. She
Actually
like, it looks like such a staged photo. And look, like, the cop's, like, face is not even in it
oh,
because 'cause they're, like, probably smiling or, like, laughing or something.
yeah, look, they're barely even holding on to her. She's not resisting. This is this is
This is such a
stupid.
staged photo.
Well, the other one, I think when they were carrying her, she was,
Mhm.
like, laughing,
Yeah.
and she looks kinda like she's laughing here. Jeannie Mac.
She's like, "I'm Greta Thunberg, and I care about the environment. Carry me to my arrest." And they're
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
Yeah. Is there a point to her getting arrested? It's just publicity stunts? I mean, what happens when she gets arrested?
I don't know. It's probably publicity. Here, let me read the article really quick. Charged for disobeying police after blocking oil tankers. She was charged by the Swedish authorities for disobeying police following her refusal to leave protests blocking oil tankers from entering a port. Thunberg, 20, was arrested on June 19th, along with several other insubordinate protesters after she refused to obey the police command to leave the scene of a climate change protest. According to the statement by the Swedish prosecutors per CNN, the report initially did not confirm that Thunberg was the woman in question, but Swedish prosecution authority spokeswoman Annika Collin later verified her identity. Blah blah blah. Oh, here's more pictures. Ooh, yay. Hang on.
Okay.
We have more pictures.
Oh, well,
Breaking news.
so she doesn't want the oil tankers and all that coming. So when she travels all around the world, what does she go by sailboat?
I think so. I don't
Because
know
if
what she
she hates
does.
oil, I mean, does she ever get in a car? Does she ever get in a
I know
train?
she used well, the in 2020, I think it was. I'm sharing my screen,
Oh,
Teresa.
okay, here, let me,
I think it was in 2020 or in 2021. She got in trouble because she went to Vancouver, and she was like making a big deal out of a whole bunch of stuff and like carbon footprint and stuff like that. And it turned out that she was like taking private planes and drinking only out of like plastic water bottles. So she got like in trouble for that.
oh, for crying out loud. Well, private jets, that's worse than private flying in a jet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a very unflattering
Look at this guy
I'm
over
sorry, I don't
here.
wanna be mean, I don't wanna be mean.
Have you seen this? Is this what you're laughing at? Because
Yeah,
this
I
guy's
mean, what the and she's wearing that weird oh, and then she's just sitting there like an idiot with the lilac I mean, what kind of a T-shirt is that? What kind of short oh gosh, and then oh,
They're
I
like,
mean,
she's
come
like,
on, girl.
drag me away. They're like, okay. And then they have this woman here trying to drag her away. She can barely carry her. She's like tilting. Like, look at this guy. He's just like, whatever.
Yeah,
She's like tilting away. Like, she's
and
like,
he's like, "I am not getting paid enough for this," and I'm trying not to be mean, but she's got one hell of a wedgie there, and
I
that's just
know she does.
it's
It's
like,
true.
"Girl?" Ugh,
Wow.
it's like, "Pull that
I didn't
out."
think I want to see like freaking Greta butt.
Yeah, there's lots of
But
things in this planet that's a
hippies
little
are lame.
yeah, we don't endorse hippies here at Miss Martin Muses. Yeah, so Sieg would have had 10 jokes yet. Well, sadly, he is asleep, so no
the,
jokes tonight.
the weird part is like I used to be a hippie, but like I think like hippies are fine actually. Like I'm okay with hippies for the most part. Like OG hippies are fine.
Yeah.
It's the freaking SJWs that have ruined everything now. It's like the social justice thing that took
Mhm.
I think like it they're like way crazier than the hippies.
Yeah, you're right. Hippies are actually kinda chill. They're just sitting around smoking something that rhymes with mead
Yeah.
and just
Like
like,
hugging
"Man,
trees and
peace."
stuff. Like
Exactly, and
like it's like
who
whatever.
who doesn't wanna hug a tree every now and then?
Yeah. I mean,
Um
I've hugged trees. They're fine.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody went through a phase when they were younger of being being hippies or being really like, why can't we all just get along and let's have peace, man?
Yes.
And, I just don't understand. Don't they know war is
It's
bad?
just like the Churchill quote about, like, being liberal and then becoming conservative.
Hmm.
It's just like that. Give me 1 second, okay, Teresa? I'll be right back.
Oh, okay, sure. All right. Well, we're talking hippies. Hippies though had some good music. I love the Dawning of the Age of Aquarius. That was a great song. Lots of really good songs. Let the Sunshine In from the music was really amazing. They just were kind of idiots. And unfortunately, I think a lot of the hippies had children and
Sorry, I'm here.
grew up. No, that's okay. I was waxing poetic about the fact that hippies had some good songs.
They
Like,
did.
Let the Sunshine In, The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and, like, well, I mean, all the John Lennon songs,
Oh yeah.
like, all of it. It's pretty good.
Though I imagine is so ridiculous when you really listen to the lyrics.
I still love that song. I think it's a very, like, altruistic
Yeah.
world. Like, I think, like, that's what I think that's what the planet's gonna achieve, like, in, like, 1,000 years.
Yeah, we'll get to that happy moment. But I recall during the Movid situation when the stars all
Oh my
sang that song.
god.
First of
Yeah.
all, it was horrendous, and second of all, you had all these elderly people dying, and they're like, "Imagine there's no heaven," and
Oh,
everyone's and
no.
everyone's like, "For crying out loud, this is the one time we want to have heaven. All our grandparents are going to the great beyond."
Everybody's leaving. Like, what the
It's
hell?
so tone deaf. Yeah,
Oh
Woodstock
my
was cool.
god.
Yeah. Hello, wow, everyone coming in. Great to see you. And just so you all know, since I am just a rose with petals and everything everywhere, that I cannot wave to you, but this is my wave. There, look, I'm waving at you. Yeah, the Age
Aw.
of Aquarius.
I'm an Aquarius. I love that song.
oh, well, there you go. This is all about you. I'm a Taurus, so which I'm not always entirely sure I completely believe in the astrology, but
I don't
dang, it
either.
fits. It
Yeah,
fits.
sometimes it does, though.
Yeah. Um, yeah, because Taurus is we tend to be stubborn and kind of a little stuck in our ways, but not like an assholey way. Or it can be, but no, oh gee, pieces what up, and a bit clumsy. I am a very much a bull in the china shop. Oh my goodness. Luffy has got a hello. Bob Dylan is from the hippies, and they smelled. They did smell because, and they
That's
didn't.
true.
Yeah,
Because
they
they
didn't.
didn't really bathe.
Yeah, and they didn't shave their pits. At least the girls didn't.
No.
Yeah,
But they also didn't bathe for, like, weeks at a time.
yeah. And well, if that's all they do, go for it. I think I get frustrated when
Mhm.
it starts to infringe on me. On me, it's like you
Yeah.
can go be as weird as you want, but you start doing crap. Well, like Greta Thunberg,
Yeah.
or you're just trying to go get some milk at the store, and a bunch of people are rioting in the front of it. It's like, come on, I just want to get some daggone milk. Go somewhere
Yeah.
else and make some noise.
It's what bothers me the most is, like, I mean, like, I'm fine with protesting and stuff, like, I'm
Mhm,
like, because that's, like, freedom of speech, like, go ahead and
mhm,
protest, especially if you're young, like,
mhm,
that's, like, a thing, people wanna
mhm,
protest and stuff. But, like, when it becomes, like, a nuisance, like, that's
mhm.
when it's like, you wanna go, you
Go for
practice
a
your
march.
free speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it, especially if it's planned and, like, the city has time to, like, wall off the place or, like, put you
Mhm,
in an area where you're not stopping traffic. But there's a
mhm,
lot of protests that happen that, like, they stop emergency services from getting to, like, people who are,
mhm.
like, calling 911 and stuff like that. That stuff bothers me. I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah.
like, it's fine if you wanna express your freedom of speech, but at the same time, can you do it, like, externally considerate to other people that, may not necessarily care about what you have to say? Or they just
Exactly.
wanna, like, get to the hospital because 'cause they're having a
They don't
baby or something, you
Yeah,
know?
they don't wanna die,
Yeah.
well, and the whole thing where they'll get bull horns and put it in people's ears and hurt their hearing, I mean, that's
Yeah.
you see,
Mm-mm.
that used to be in my day something that would be crossing the line. I mean, I protest all well, I haven't protested recently, but I protested really hard back in 2011, 2012, and we would go marching through the streets
Mhm.
and all that. But it was all organized, and you need,
Yeah,
if you want to
organized
make your point.
protests, I have no problem with.
Yeah,
It's like,
and not
whatever.
hurting people. Yeah, and
Exactly.
the instructions are, it's like, don't engage with anyone,
Yeah,
no
also
violence.
protests, like, usually, like, don't like, burn cars and buildings, like, usually.
Precisely.
But
Yeah,
you wanna chain yourself to something, go for it.
yeah. Chain yourself to a tree as long as it's not in my way.
Yeah.
Your eyes lament makes a good point, and this is what's actually really killing me. Those people that glued themselves to
I
paintings.
hate those
Yes,
people.
and throwing paint on masterpieces. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
no, 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 no. Oh, hell no, because you don't get those back. It's
Mm-mm. That shit bothers me a lot, like
mhm,
and see, actually, those were the people that recently had a protest,
mhm,
and, like, a couple of the people, like, got pissed off and started beating them up,
mhm,
and, like, everybody was, like, freaking out, like, "Oh," and, like, and then the cops got involved and they got arrested and stuff, and, like, people were like, "This is supposed to be like, people should be free to protest," and I'm like, I mean, not
mhm,
necessarily, because 'cause they're literally stopping traffic." Like, if you wanna organize it so that, you're not stopping traffic, then go for it, but if you're, like, being a public nuisance, like, that's a different story, you know?
mhm.
And
Exactly. Well, and in our Constitution, the American Constitution, it actually specifically says peaceful protest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this was, like, I think in the UK, they don't necessarily have the same kind of,
Yeah.
laws that the United States does. That's why you guys seceded. You were like, "Oh, oh,
We had a
thanks."
revolution. Yeah, we just celebrated that, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
Um, oh no. Snort poops. I like to see them glue themselves to a tanker as it heads to the sea.
Ouch.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Luffy's God's pointing out a lady died of a heart attack because they couldn't get to her, and that's where it crosses the line, in my humble opinion. Um,
Same. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm like, "Whatever."
yeah. Well, to bring it to something a little lighter, Soul Assassin is asking about the Conan craze. What's up with the Conan game craze? Every channel's doing it. So, what got you into Conan?
It was just like a bunch of people. We were all like, well, we should play something together. And then
Mhm,
a bunch of people just started playing, and then we were all like, oh, okay, like let's like I was like, I saw Az and Jane and them playing, and I was like, I could play this because I had actually played it years ago when it first came out.
mhm,
But I kind of gave up on it because I was like, this is way too big of a game, and I don't really care. Like, I'm not a huge like survival person, like a survival game person. And then and it was like really like I remember when I played it, it was like kind of like beta, so it wasn't like complete and everything. So now that it's been years since it's been out, there's just so much to do. So I was like, oh, this actually looks really cool, and it would be fun to play with other people. So we just all started playing, and now it's just been like become a thing. And then Script Doctor and I just we started building like this thing called Timmy Hooters, and now we're just building that, and we're building it in like different parts of the game. We're franchising.
No, hey,
So
there you go. Well, that's what drew me to the game, because it is not cross platform. That's the wrong word. You can play with other people. So it was the first game where I
Mhm.
actually played with another person, and I did like building things. Building a big house with the towers, and you can decorate it with.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I I just didn't do any of the other stuff in the game. I'm like, why should I do that when I can build a house?
Yeah, the funny part is like some of the stuff I remember from our game, because like in the game, if you do magic, like you're using dark magic, so you become ugly. So if you like teleport, your character becomes like corrupted.
Mhm,
And that's one of the reasons we're building Timmy Hooters, was because we had like, because the entertainers bring down your corruption like when they dance. So we made like this like strip club, and then like we have like all the entertainers there. But it's just really funny because I would remember our game, and like in the game, I'm like, I don't want to be a magician because the sorceress like corrupts you all the time. And I was like, I
mhm,
don't want to do that. And I remember Steve saying that you like use dark magic if you become a sorceress in the game. So I'm not even doing the magic as much as I can. But every time I
mhm.
do teleport, like my character turns into Nancy Pelosi because she like looks like haggard.
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
gosh.
I'm like, I look like Nancy Pelosi.
That's right. All magic comes with a price, and that's one hell of a
It does.
price.
It does. It's pretty funny. It's fun though. It's a fun game. I recommend it if people in the chat are like ever thinking about trying it out. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's usually played on Sunday nights when the server is working and
Yeah.
causing every.
Yes.
That was ridiculous. How messed up that. Well, is it fixed now? Do you know?
I
Or
don't know. I haven't talked to Tomby since then, but he said like he's working on fixing it, but he hasn't told me exactly what happened. So hopefully, yes. I'm gonna have to like maybe I'll contact him tomorrow. Actually, that's good that you reminded me and be like, hey,
yeah.
um, you know, did you fix it?
Please help us out here. Have some mercy. It'll be like 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I've been like watching Ted Lasso. I'm
Mhm.
almost finished. I haven't watched like there's a few. I think I'm on like episode 7 or 8.
Okay.
So I have a few episodes left.
Yeah, I have certain opinions about this season. I just don't like it as much. I think that season 1 was downright perfect, and season
Yeah,
2 had some hits and
definitely.
misses, and
Mhm.
this, my opinion is they could have tightened it up, but
Yeah. I mean, well, like so far it's been weird because it definitely has its ups and downs. Like I'm
mhm,
like, I mean, it's good, but it's definitely not like the first season good.
mm-mm.
And then, I'm sure you and I have similar gripes about certain things, but I don't want to spoil it. Like, because I,
Yeah,
I I do still want people to watch it. So I'm not gonna go into what I think is annoying about it so far.
yeah. Well,
But
one thing that I thought was so on the nose, and I don't think this is a spoiler and will put people off, is just randomly Keely was talking on the phone and then said, "F you, Joe Rogan." It's that kind of stuff that just made
oh
me.
yeah, like I was like, what? Like that was such a weird thing to say. But just everything about Keely this season has been like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
really annoying.
why?
Yeah. I mean, because you know how he was a villain because he survived COVID.
No,
Remember, everyone
yeah.
was giving him hell. How dare you take medicine that we're not going to say on my stream, but how dare
Mm-mm.
you take medicine and survive COVID? And the show was probably written around then. It's like, oh, he's just our villain, and a few other things
You think so? You think the show was written around that time? Maybe.
about me because this third season was very much delayed. Uh, see, wait, actually, let me be fair. Yeah, it was about around or after right after the Joe Rogan is a villain and a horrible person because he lived situation, because it took forever for this season to come out. There were rumors about rewrites and some
Mm.
diva behavior or devo behavior with
Oh.
but I can't confirm them. Um, but yeah, that was annoying, and it's season 2 also annoyed me because when they were talking about Christmas, like, "Yay, look at us celebrating Santa's birthday." And I remember going, "What?" So
Yeah,
sometimes
what?
it's like they're trying there was a little bit of brainwashing in there. It's like, "Oh, well, is that what they're gonna start telling people now? So, that Christianity is gonna be wiped out, like they couldn't even say baby Jesus, like in Tallahassee Nights when he's like 7 pound 8 ounces Jesus or whatever it
I
was."
like how like Futurama changed Christmas like that and it became like this thing because like Santa became that robot that like was killing everybody cuz he thought all the humans were naughty and they needed to the whole time.
Oh, dear me. Oh, gosh. But I'll tell you what, and this is the positive thing about Ted Lasso and why I do still recommend people watch it. They really capture the spirit of a Premier League team and the fans and just how people's local football club, it's a matter of pride. And
Mhm.
when you're relegated, which is what they were facing in season 1, that's devastating. Like this year, my team was almost relegated and they were
Oh
able to get
no.
themselves out of it. It was Nottingham Forest and they had just moved up. So they were playing badly, they kind of deserved, but right at the end, they beat Arsenal. And if you know anything about Premier League, Arsenal,
Wow.
I know Arsenal just lost their. They should have kicked Nottingham Forest ass, and instead Nottingham Forest beat them. It was one of the best
That's
games
a
ever.
big deal.
It is a huge deal. And I was screaming. I was over at my parents at the time. And my dad's like, "What's wrong?" It's like, they just scored. They're beating Arsenal. And because of that, they stayed up. and Arsenal lost the Premier League definitively to Manchester City. So that kind of stuff I think they really showed well in Ted
Mhm.
Lasso, and it makes me happy because I think there's maybe a lot of Americans that don't know about football the way it's supposed to be. Yeah,
Mhm.
and just the spirit that goes along with it. I think that Ted Lasso did a great job. And the way you have the pub for your team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I like. Um, I also really like what they did with, like, the relationship aspect and, like, some of the stuff that he goes through, especially in the 3rd season with the anxiety and everything like that. I think it's, like, really it kinda, like, hits close if you've ever gone through something similar.
Mm-hmm.
Then, like, I think they handled it really well. It kinda like, they've explained that part well, and I thought that that was really good. Like, I love the line when he's, like, talking to the Diamond Dogs or whatever they're called,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Find out before you freak out," like, his friend tells him, like, "Find out before you freak out," because 'cause we're
Mm-hmm.
all kind of guilty of that, we'll freak out about something in our own heads without even actually knowing what's going on, and
Yeah.
then it's, like, such a key thing with it people who suffer from anxiety, myself included, because I
Mm-hmm.
do have anxiety a lot of times. I think that, like, it's, like, a huge thing, and I really love that line from it. I was like, "That I'm gonna remember that line, like, that's a good one. Find out before you freak
Kind of.
out."
Yeah. That's a good one. And the other one is the be a goldfish. That one helps.
Mhm. Yeah.
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 Have a short memory.
It has a lot of good it has a lot of good messaging, that's why I like the show.
Mm-hmm.
But just to change topics a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
have you seen that, new thing that's going on in Las Vegas? The
Uh
new, like, the MSG Sphere? It's the biggest the world's largest LED screen in Vegas. It's like
no.
$2.5 million or something they spent on it. Here,
Holy
I'll
crap.
share my screen.
Okay, I was about ready to say no. I have see. I only know about blackjack when I think Vegas because that's all I do is I play. But holy, what the?
Yeah, this thing is nuts, and it changes, like, different patterns, they do different things with it, like, they turned it into a basketball, they turned it into a planet, they do different things with it. They turned
Oh,
into, like, a molecule, they do, like, different things, and it's really, really cool looking. Like, this is, like, some futuristic shit. Billion? Was it billion? Oh my god.
oh my
There's the
gosh!
eye,
No,
that
no,
thing's freaky.
hell no! Oh hell
I
no!
think though I think that they should do Sauron's eye on it, I really do. I think Sauron's eye would be, like, freaking amazing on that thing.
Oh yes, yes, please, yes. One for the acid head, says Mister Brown.
100%. There's the basketball.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah, I'll take the basketball.
Yeah, it's really cool, like, there's a lot of, like, really cool stuff, like, this is really cool. I don't know, I just think Vegas needed something new,
Uh huh.
and this is something new.
Yeah, and it's something. It's very Vegas. I was okay until the eye thing. The eye could go, but this rest
Yeah,
of the
the
stuff
eye thing is,
this
although
is kind of trippy.
if they turn it to the Eye of Sauron, it'll be cool, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
weird eye thing, like, nah.
yeah, yeah. Let's petition them. It's like change it to the Dagon Eye, the real Eye of Sauron, not the
Yeah.
fake bull crap from that show that shall not be named. Oh, look, the American
The
flag.
American flag! See, that's cool.
That's badass.
It's really cool. They should definitely put the Eye of Sauron. They did one that was like it was kinda like this, but they did, like,
Ooh,
pitch black with, like, blurry things in it,
yeah.
and it looked like Dark. Like, if you ever seen Dark from Netflix, like, that thing that was, like,
Oh,
the dark thing, I was like, "Oh my god, it's dark."
oh,
It was,
hello world. Well, that's bad. That's awesome. Well, you see, you learn new things here at Miss Martin Muses in a pub crawl. That's pretty daggone awesome. I want one of those.
Yeah,
It's
it was cool. I can't believe
okay.
it was a billion. That's a crazy. Hold on, let's see. Vegas LED screen cost.
Mhm.
Um, where is it? LED. No, the LED ball sphere cost. Uh, let's see. $2.3 billion
Damn.
they spent on that. Crazy.
Oh my gosh. I would if I had two. billion, I'd like buy my own island with Wi-Fi and just stay away from humans the rest of my life. But I guess making that big ball thing would be cool. Uh, Now, this would terrify me, but imagine if they had like a spider on there, like a big
Oh
tarantula.
my god, yeah, can you imagine? Like, that would be freaky.
Yeah. Oh, that would be messed up. Wouldn't be surprised they visit that ball the next Vegas meetup. Oh, well, that would be a great place to.
I mean, it's right in front of Bellagio. It's not like you can miss it. It's like it's right there. It's on the strip. Like, he literally will be like, "Oh, okay, hi." It's a
Yeah.
big ball.
Well,
Like, I
dang.
didn't care about going to Vegas ever again, and now I'm like, "Oh, something new. Okay,
Eh,
like, I would go watch this. That's cool."
yeah. No, I wasn't joking though when I said I just sit I sit at the blackjack table and then it's one of those things where then you're like, "I've gotta sleep," and you go back to your hotel room, then you wake up and you go back down again.
That's funny. I've never been, like, a huge gambler, so,
Uh-huh.
like, for me, more like a party scene slash, like,
Mhm,
walking the strip and, like, just whatever.
mhm.
But, like, I remember one time I did gamble because I was really drunk, and I was like,
Uh-oh.
"Oh my god, I should do some gambling," like,
Mhm,
"I'm here in Vegas," and I was just, like, drunk, and then we're walking through one of the hotels. I think it was Caesar's Palace. We were
mhm.
walking through, and then, like, I saw this Marilyn Monroe machine, and I was like, "It's Marilyn, she's my girl. I love you,
Mhm.
girl. I'm gonna play you," and, like, she was the most expensive machine too, it wasn't like a quarter, it was, like, $5, like, you had to put a
Oh.
$5 just for the 1 spin.
Uh-huh.
And I was like it was like a 5, 10, 20, like, and that's it kinda thing. Maybe 50, it was like 5, 10, 20, 50. And I was like, "Fuck it, I'm doing the $5 bill, like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm
Mhm.
doing it." And I did, and I won on my first spin, and I was like, "I told you, Marilyn's my girl, I won." And I literally went and cashed out immediately. I was like, "Drinks on me, y'all."
Oh,
Like,
do you remember how much you won?
$100.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well done.
Yeah, it
Hell,
was
yeah.
good. $5. I got $100 out of it, and I was like, I knew Marilyn. I knew she would come through,
Yeah.
and yeah, we went and had some more drinks and steaks and stuff afterwards. It was
Oh,
great.
cool. Hey, that's a good way to spend the money too. The restaurants there are amazing.
Yeah, especially pre-pandemic when
Yeah.
the buffet was around. Like,
Mm,
oof,
yeah, the
oh, that was
buffet.
good. Like the Paris buffet was so good. I
Yeah,
think
well
that one was my favorite one. Bellagio was good too, but like the Paris buffet was my favorite.
oh, yeah. Well, because it kinda takes you away to another world, but what I love is that they want you to be constantly gambling, so they even have, like, at the buffets, you can play a bingo-like game, I forget what the name of it is. So they're like, "Please keep gambling," or if you're at another place, it's like, "Here, you can gamble on sports," and it's just like they're like, "Let us suck the money from you."
The funniest thing was the first time my husband and I went to Vegas, like, we went as, like, a couple, like, we were a new couple at the time,
Mhm,
and, like, we were just, like, really recent relationship, and we went to, we got hammered, like,
uh-huh.
absolutely hammered and we were at one of the hotels, and I was like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." So I
Uh-oh.
went to the bathroom, like, the ladies' room, and I was like, "Wait here, like, I'll be back," you know? And he's just like, "Okay." And so, like, I go into the bathroom, I come out, and he's nowhere to be found. And I was like, "Where'd he go?" You know?
Mhm.
And, like, I guess I kept walking, like, I don't know what happened, and, like, we just missed each so we lost each other for, like, a
Oh,
few hours. And back
oh.
then, there was, like, barely any cell phones or anything
Mhm.
like that. Like, I had my cell phone, but, like, it was, like, it had minutes. Like, I remember I had a card to,
Oh,
like,
yes! The old days. Oh
in the
gosh.
old days. And so, like, finally, like, I was like, "You know what?" Like, I found the bathroom again, and I was like there was a bar in front of the bathroom, and I was like, "I'm just gonna sit here, and I'm just gonna wait because he'll come back." Like, he'll be like, like, "She's around here somewhere," like, and they tell you if you get lost and separated, don't leave your spot, you know?
Mhm.
So I just stayed at that bar, and I started telling my story to, like, whoever would listen, and they're like, "Oh, that's really nice." And so finally, he, like, came and, like, we had the biggest hug, like, it was like one of those movie hugs where, like, you're
Aw.
towards each other because we were, like, so drunk and, like, we finally found each other. We're like, "Yeah, this is that, like, oh my god."
Oh. But, hey, the struggle is real because it's very easy to get drunk in Vegas, 'cause the drinks are quote unquote "free," especially if you're sitting at a table or at a casino, at least they were the last time I was there. So they're just
Mhm.
coming by and giving you drinks
Mhm.
all the time. They want you drunk, and
Yeah,
they take
drunken gambling,
drunk
and, like,
and gambling.
and we went to like, when we were walking the strip, I got myself one of those Paris things, like
Mhm,
the long ass, like, daiquiris that are,
mhm.
like, in the giant Eiffel Tower
Yeah,
bottle, like, I don't know if you remember that, but they sold those on the strip
yeah.
for, like, $8, and it was free refills. So I was
Oh, God.
like, you can get hammered for
Mhm,
8 bucks, like, you know what I mean? And then afterwards, you can go to, like, any hotel and just, like, keep it going for free,
mhm.
basically. They're just, like, giving out free alcohol.
Yeah. Well, quote unquote "free" because you're gambling so much, it's like a $1,000 glass
Yeah,
of
that's tr
wine.
I mean, well, yes and no, because you could pretend to be gambling and they'll still give you drinks, especially if
That's
you're
true.
a woman.
Oh, hell yes, yeah.
Like, if you're a man, it's different, but for a woman, like, you just go stand at one of the tables, like, you don't necessarily have to be gambling, and then they'll just
Mhm.
come and give you drinks.
Yeah. Mr. Brown Alliance from the future, hello. I went on vacation once to Vegas. The rule was $5 every time I passed this one slot in my hotel. I went over 700 during the week. Mhm.
Wow.
It works. Well, that's part of the system. That's my blackjack system too, is don't get in a hurry. Take your time, and if you have
Mhm.
a system, you keep to the system and you will end up winning. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, my best one I ever did ever was I started off with $100 and I walked away from the table with like $1,000. So I had $900 and I needed new tires for my car. So I was able to pay for new tires for my car.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
yeah, but I kept reminding myself because I didn't wanna end up at Gamblers Anonymous. It was
Mhm.
luck that never gamble with the hope something like that will pay for your tires, because that's when you get in
Yeah.
trouble and need to take some 12 steps. And then, my other routine is once I'm decide to cash out at the blackjack or leave the blackjack table, I take 1, 20 and let it ride on red at a roulette, and I've won a lot of money with that as well. The
Ooh.
key is, though, when to stop. Because
When to stop, yes.
because you're like once I was, like, up to, like, 400, I was like, "Oh," and we tried one more, and then I lost everything, so yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I know, it's not to
no!
go make
That's
a
why dude, I'm telling you, that's why at that Maryland machine, I was like, $5 won me 100, I'm done, like, that's it,
Mhm.
that's it, I'm out, like, it's just one of the, like, Jerry Lewis jokes, you're like, "That's it, folks, I'm out," like, you just
Yeah,
gotta
you gotta
know.
have the discipline to quit, and that's
Mhm.
I also enjoyed, uh, the signs when you go into the restroom in the ladies' restroom and in the stall, there's all these, "Can't quit, dial 1-800" whatever, 'cause I think those are disclaimers so they don't get sued, but
Probably.
yeah.
This whole conversation's made me wanna watch Casino. Have you ever watched that movie?
Gosh, a long time ago, I should watch it again. I like those movies.
That's a really good movie.
Mhm.
I love that movie. But speaking of crazy shit that's going on in the States,
Uh-oh.
have you heard about these freaking shark attacks in Florida? Well, it's not really an
Oh,
attack.
oh, yeah, there's sharks all the time where I swim.
Dude, that's freaky. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Well,
look at
you
this
just
freaking shark. Came
yeah,
out of nowhere.
is that a yeah,
Like,
where is this located?
Florida.
Well, okay, I'm just curious which beach. Okay, that's not where I swim, okay.
Let's get out of the Florida beach sense. Okay, maybe it's in the article. I'll go
Oh, no,
look in the
that's okay.
article.
Yeah, it's but, like, so wait, where does it show up right in the
It's
middle of
oh, it
those?
says local news. Oh, X TMX. That doesn't make sense.
No. So it is that it's like, "Everyone get out of the water, you."
Everyone's just like, "Oh, what? There's a shark. Look at this person." It's like, "Oh, look, it's over there." Buddy, get out. Like, stop pointing at it. Like,
Yeah,
if it
point at it
wants to
in the
nibble
beach.
on your leg, like, it takes 2 seconds for it to bolt to you.
Yeah, and the problem with sharks that they don't deliberately come for you. They're trying to test with their mouth. They're like babies, how they can only
Yeah.
use their mouths.
Mhm.
And so usually the shark is like, "What's this?" And they're like, "Oh, don't want that." But next thing you know,
Yep.
your arteries and you're bleeding out. Oh my gosh. Oh no, thank you. Oh hell no. Oh hell no. I'm sorry. I'm just no. Okay. Yeah,
No.
I personally have never actually seen a shark. My family did. I was getting a maniped, so I missed it. But
Mhm.
it was a shark like this. It was probably a black tip shark. I think they don't tend to be very aggressive, and he just swam past my family, and they learned how fast you can get out of the water. but the sharks, it was just swimming. They usually don't want to bother with you, but
I mean,
oh.
usually, like, it's like I've heard it's like if they feel threatened, that's when they kind of attack, and I'm like,
Mhm,
I don't care, like, I would be long gone if like, the
mhm.
second I'm like, there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
freaking shark nearby, I'm out. I don't care if it's a great white, I don't care if it's
yeah.
like
A baby?
a baby, I'm out, bro, like, I'm not gonna take the chance of it nibbling on my arm, like, yeah, it might not kill me, but I might lose an arm, like, no thanks.
Yeah, you're right. Look at these idiots. They're, like, casually walking out, and then
You're
you
like,
see a
look
few.
at this guy's an idiot. Like, this dude right there, like, no. Like, all of you people, like, all of you, get out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now there were some people you saw at the beginning, like, running, and it's like, "Yes, those are the
Yeah, those are
smart
the
people."
yes. See, this is the Darwin Award. You
Mhm.
can tell like, this dude, you're gone.
Yeah,
You're
you
gone.
deserve to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're gone.
mhm,
Bye.
yeah. Yeah,
Like, if I heard people like this got nibbled on, I'd be like, "Well, the shark's gotta eat." Like,
mhm, yeah. Unless it's a bull shark, you'll be fine. Yeah, bull sharks do tend to be a bit more aggressive than others. Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no thanks.
No, but they're usually there, but especially if we're on the West Coast of Florida, you don't sorry, the East Coast. You don't wanna be too far out in the water anyways because it's too
Mhm.
dangerous. Like, where I am, the main danger is really drowning, because,
Ouch.
people are stupid, and
They are.
they'll say, "Don't go out past your waist," because there's riptides, and then they're all like, "Look at me swimming," and it's like, "Yes," and then
Mhm.
you drown, and there's usually a lot of drownings. There was a few times the last time I was there last month where the lifeguard had to go in and just pull kids out, and
Mhm.
it's just like, "Listen, you can't play around with this water,"
The
and
ocean is scary, man. It's
yeah.
alive and it can kill you in an
Mhm,
instant. Like, I've seen someone drown
mhm.
firsthand in
Oh.
the ocean when I was a kid.
Oh my.
And it was like, it was very traumatizing. Like, the guy got, like, pulled in and he was gone, man. He was gone. He drowned, and it was terrifying, but
Oh
it was
my.
also, like, crazy because it was a lesson for me. Because I was, like, at the time, it
Mhm.
was stormy, and they had the flags out. So one of the
Yeah.
things is obviously you have to pay attention to the flags. And I remember I was a kid, and I was like, I wanted to go swimming though, because I was like, "We
Mhm.
came all the way here, like, let me go swimming." And my parents are like, "Nope, like, it's stormy, and we can't go into the water. You can't go into the water."
Yeah.
But there was some dumb people in the water. And
Mm.
I was like, "Well, they're swimming," and they're like, "So? Just because people do stupid things doesn't mean you should do stupid things, like,
Darn
we're
right.
gonna follow the rules." And then, like, as time goes on, I'm just, like, a kid, so I'm crying about how I wanna go in the water and annoying my parents, and then all of a sudden, I hear screaming, and,
Ugh.
like, I see, like, people running towards the ocean, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And my parents, like, my I remember my dad just grabbed me, like, covered my face and, like,
Oh.
just started walking the other way, and he was like, "Don't look, don't look, don't look," and, like, he's just
Mhm.
like, "Whatever," and I could see because I was, like, peeking from the
Mhm.
like, his shoulder, and, like, I saw the guy, like, getting pulled in by the waves, and, like, all these guys were, like, rushing towards him to save him, but he was way too far out, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if they got to him or not, but I think he died, so it was
Oh, that's horrible.
and then my dad and my mom were, like, trying to explain it to me afterwards, and I was like, "What happened to him?" And they were like, "Well, told you not to go in the water because you can drown," and I
Yeah.
that guy drowned.
Yeah, use common sense, people, and usually it's not the locals, of course, it's the people that will come in, like, on the weekend, or, people from out of town. A lot of
Mhm.
Canadians,
Yeah.
come down to the beach because they take I-95, and it's
Mhm.
just like, people, just use your common sense, 'cause, yeah,
Mhm.
I swim out all the time, and one time, the lifeguard was just kinda like, "We all just come in," and I thought, "You know what? I'm not gonna
Mhm.
stress out the lifeguard," so even though I don't go far out, it's like, you don't wanna.
Mhm. And actually, the one that, like, the drowning I saw wasn't even in the ocean, it was in the sea, it was in the Caspian Sea. It's kind of
Oh,
like the ocean, but it's
Yeah,
not. It's like
but no.
it's a Caspian Sea, but it's just it was still crazy though, like, because it looks like the ocean is as big as a freaking ocean, but it's not.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Dagnabbit. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so everyone, please respect nature.
Respect the ocean.
Respect the ocean. Don't be
And
stupid.
go learn CPR just in case.
There you go, and learn CPR. Yes, it's a good thing to do. I've told the story several times that when I was in Iceland, and that water, the water itself will kill you because it's so
Mhm.
cold. It You'll get hypothermia, or you can even just get a heart attack because the water is that cold. So there was a rescue dude who told me that basically you have, if I don't get to you in 5 minutes, you're gone.
Oof.
And because between the currents, between the cold and all of that, and he said he once rescued one person who lived, and by the time he got to her, she had been completely stripped of all of her clothing. Like the waves had just done that. That's how vicious it is, and it's so cold. And so
Wow.
our tour guide was like, "Don't go near the water because there's something called sneaker waves." And
Mm.
these idiots went near the water, and me and my traveling companion, we looked at each other and we said, "We'll just stand by where the tour guide is because he's the one
Mhm.
who knows." Yeah.
Yeah. Soul Assassin said Nina be like, "I've seen Jaws." Exactly.
Uh-huh.
I've
Darn
seen
right.
Jaws. I've seen Jaws, and you know what? Like, people make fun of this kind of stuff, but like movies have taught me a lot of stuff about like, hey, you may not want to do this. Like,
Mhm.
for example, that's why I don't like AI. Like, I'm like,
Oh.
I don't know about all this AI stuff. Like, I feel like we've been taught through like science stories, movies, and books and stuff how we shouldn't play God and mess around with this shit.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we're keep doing it. But I'm not down. So I try to like think about what different people have taught me, including movies and science
Yeah.
books, sci-fi books. By the way, that in the private chat was where it was,
Oh,
that
okay,
shark.
thank you. Yeah, okay, yeah, Navarre Beach. Okay, so thank you. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I might Google that because that might amuse my dad. His dream, they take out the surfers because he thinks surfers are a nuisance.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
dang. Okay.
Get
Uh,
those hippies out of here.
exactly. Well, hey, I obviously he's older than me, but I'm starting to realize I now know why old people get cranky because I'm starting to get it. All right, I'm just
Mhm.
like, get off my lawn, get away from me. I hate children.
Girl,
Um,
I'm
well,
starting to get there too, and I'm only 38. Like, I'm just like, "What?"
yeah.
Like, especially, like, these Zoomers, like, I'm like, "Really?"
Ugh,
Like, god damn, like, you guys, these kids are so stupid today, like, holy damn.
yeah.
Were
I
we
mean,
really that stupid when we were young? I guess we were.
I guess we were, but I think there was some aspect of us though that we knew we would get our asses kicked by our parents if we misbehaved too
That's
much.
true.
So that helped us a little bit, kept
Hey,
us.
good question, Teresa, because I
Mhm,
was actually talking about with my husband because I think a big part of like us growing up, like that was one of the things was that corporal punishment was a thing and
mm,
people like actually well, like not routinely beat up their kids, but like, you got a spanking once in a while, or like,
mhm.
like if you were misbehaving, like you may get slapped or something. Like, it was just one of those things, and you knew that if you misbehaved, that there would be physical consequences, and sometimes that fear kinda helped, like, steer you in the right direction. But now, like, because corporal punishment is so, like, looked down on, it's
Yeah.
almost as if we've, like, built a nation of pussies now, so I don't know, like, what do you think? Do you think it's bad that corporal punishment's totally gone?
I don't entirely have an answer for that because objectively speaking, hitting a kid, I'm just completely against that. But I got spanked once or twice, and at school the teachers could do it. I remember in Ireland, I was yapping too much, and the teacher just had a ruler and she just rapped me, but it didn't hurt. It just tapped me on the wrist, and I was like, "Blah!" And then I shut up and I didn't do it again. I wasn't traumatized for life.
Mhm.
I think that there are limits to that. The kind of quote unquote corporal punishment I'm completely for, which is now being taken away, is the type where they misbehave and the gym teacher makes them run laps. I think that that's really good. Or they do something,
What?
it's like
They're taking that away?
some places are, because that's like using physical stuff to punish people. I mean, it's just going crazy now, because there's something to be said about that. And or so many push-ups, or make them to clean the toilets with a
A
toothbrush.
toothbrush?
Those kind of things I actually think are good in their character building. But
I like those things too, man. We are old school.
yeah, I mean, how do I
I'm de
say
I
this?
would definitely be for the clean the fucking toilet with the toothbrush thing. Like,
Yeah.
you got like, especially, like, if you're a teenager, you got drunk, threw up all over the freaking thing,
Hmm.
get that
Yeah.
toothbrush.
Yeah, that's right.
Get on your knees and clean that toilet.
Yeah, you'll learn that. Mr. Brown says if you do something wrong and you're a little C and a T, clip around the ear. Oh yeah, that's a kind of a British thing. I remember. Yeah, they'd yank you by the ear.
Yeah, like, well, I remember
Yeah.
those. I mean, look, like, again, when I say that, like, I don't mean like people who physically beat the shit out of their kids. Obviously, that's physical abuse. We're just
Yeah.
talking like, and besides, like, after a certain age too, you're not supposed to do that after a certain
No.
age. If you like read about it, like, after a
Hmm.
certain age, children don't respond to that kind of thing, right? Has
Yeah.
to be done for like a certain amount of time. I just think it's like, it's been gone long enough where you're now starting to see the results
Hmm.
versus what we used to be like. So I'm just kind of like, like,
Yeah.
just interesting to think about what different generations were like.
Yeah, and I think at the heart of it, because I always ask what's the question behind the question. Was it really about the little rap on the hand? Was it really about that? I think it was more that there were consequences to your action, and what has disappeared is no consequences to your actions. And you see this at school. This is one of the reasons I quit. Because I kept telling people I was sick of getting beat up. I was sick of watching kids beat up other kids and nothing happening. You'd send,
Mhm.
you'd call for security and all that, and then they'd come right back to your classroom the next day. Nothing happened because they're like, well, we don't want them to have a criminal record. And I'm just like, fudge this. And so if when you see some of the things out in the world, it's because it happened first in schools. I did a whole live stream about this, like who's sitting next to your
Mm.
kid at school. I'm telling you, it's violent as hell, and they don't punish the violent kids. They actually kind of punish the good kids because they have to sit there and be around
Well, and
violence.
usually the good kids, like, that get messed up or like bullied
Mhm.
or whatever, when they retaliate, they're the ones that get in trouble. It's not like the actual
Precisely.
bully. It's like the retaliation that always gets in trouble. Have you ever seen The Wire?
No, but I've heard a lot about it.
Okay, yeah, there's like, The Wire is, in my opinion, one of the most amazing series of all time. Like, I really truly believe that that is one of the biggest, the best TV series ever made.
Dang.
Because it highlights the 5 pillars of American society, and each season goes by that.
Wow.
And one of them is school. So, like, on
Oh.
the I think it was like the 3rd season,
Mhm.
like, the 3rd one's like education. And this one guy, he like, I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but
Mhm.
he goes to teach, and he has to deal with, like, inner city kids in Baltimore, in the school. And, like, he has very violent episodes where, like, this one girl stabs another girl in the face, and, like,
Mhm.
stuff like that, like, that they have to sit through. And this is, like, back in the 90s,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we're talking a lot more difficult stuff now. But, like, man, that series
Mm.
really nailed it. That's why whenever you talk about like that kind of stuff, I always remember that season of The Wire, because I'm like,
Yeah. It's bad.
it was real. Like, it was a very real thing.
And here's what I always tell people: if you have kids in school, and listen to me, I said school. Everyone says public schools. I've taught private and I've taught public. Remember,
Mhm.
parents do not have a right to know what another student is doing in the classroom, because they're like, that kid has privacy rights. So a kid could tear apart the classroom and your classroom gets evacuated. The parents aren't told. They don't know that their kids are in this environment because that would violate the rights of the crazy student. And so be aware, find out what's happening in your classroom. And if you've got little children, if you
Mhm.
hear them saying some things like, well, so and so is mean. and say, ask a few questions, and you might be surprised at the answer. Like they might say, well, he keeps hitting the teacher, or he keeps, beating up this other kid. In other words, teachers in the schools are not allowed to tell the parents, but the kids can tell on the kids, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Ma-
yeah.
yeah. And that's the law here in the United States. I get a little frustrated when people who aren't teachers say, "Well, I would do this." It's like, okay, you ready to go to
Mhm.
prison for 20 years? That's why
Crazy.
teachers have no power over their classroom. That's why I quit. It's like, and that's why teachers are quitting in droves. And I can tell you, they are begging teachers to come back.
Yeah,
And
because well, I mean, also like I think it's more like teachers with consciousness and soul are quitting
mhm,
because most of the other teachers are very fine with very questionable things that are happening that we're not going to talk about because
exactly.
YouTube. But like most of those teachers they don't give a fuck. Like they're
hmm
like whatever. Let's like as long as I get my paycheck, right? Like
hmm
I'll toe the line, whatever that may be.
Precisely, and, as long as I'm not being hurt, well, who cares? And
Mm,
so that it's being a bit of a crisis here
mm,
in the States, but again, a lot of people need to look up the laws, that this is the law. It's not because teachers are bad teachers. It
mm-hmm.
drives me nuts when people say, "Why don't they just send the kid out, or why doesn't the kid get suspended?" You're not allowed to suspend kids anymore.
Yeah, there's so much stuff and I know this stuff because like most of my friends in Mexico are
Mhm,
teachers too. And like, and a lot of that stuff applies to here, especially
mhm,
international schools, because they try to design their schools based on the American system. So a lot of the stuff is like, they tell me this kind of stuff and I'm like, what? Like,
mm,
I mean, I think George Bush kind of ruined everything with that whole no child left behind situation because like that's when like merit-based stuff started going out the door anyway.
mhm.
But it was just like it's just been, it's just a giant mess with the school systems. Education is much secondary to like social issues and like obviously like teaching about sex, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
and, those kind of things. And it's just like schooling has become the second part of actual
yeah.
like the education program. And I think it's a mistake and it's a huge these people, like, I mean, this generation of kids that are growing up we're gonna feel it in the future
Mhm.
because it's
Yeah.
like a bunch of idiots,
Yeah.
basically, you
Well,
know?
I always tell people it's like it's an asylum. They got rid of the asylums and they turned them into schools because I can't imagine how many times I was told, "Well, we can't just if we expel the kids, if we suspend them." And it was actually during the Obama administration that this started, where you weren't allowed to do this.
Mm,
But yeah, Bush was more with the academic. Obama was with the discipline. It.
right.
They were like, "Well, if we let them out on the streets, they'd terrorize the citizenry." And I said, "Did you hear what you just said? You're not gonna suspend them and you say they're gonna terrorize the citizenry, but they're allowed to terrorize children and in the classrooms? It's like, okay, let them terrorize the children who can't escape like an adult if something's going on. If a
Hmm.
fight breaks out, if someone brings out a knife or something, they can just like, "Screw this, I'm out of here." Kids can't leave,
Yeah. It's
and they're
crazy,
stuck.
man. I
Yeah.
feel so bad for kids growing up today. Like, I'm
Mhm,
just like, "Ooh," like, I mean, at least we had some things,
mhm.
in school and stuff like that to look forward to, and
Ye
now it's just like a big giant mess. I'm like, I feel bad for you kids growing up today.
Yeah, it's really sad. It is very sad, and, um, I don't know what I would do if I had children. I could just tell people my personal experiences and, not to bring this all down, but I think all of this goes together. These are the kind of things that you talk about in a pub crawl, especially when the liquor gets flowing, because after a
Oh
while, you
my
suddenly
god.
yeah, the politics and the rela well, we did well,
Well,
the
here's a crazy story. Here's another crazy story. This is a
okay,
celebrity story. We'll
okay.
we'll change it up a little bit. Actually, there's 2 celebrity stories. Which one do you wanna talk about? Do you wanna talk about crazy celebrity number 1, Madonna,
Uh-huh.
or crazy celebrity number 2, Britney Spears? Which one would you rather discuss?
I'm gonna roll for it. Odds for Madonna, evens for Britney Spears. Oh, even! So Britney Spears.
Okay, Britney Spears. So apparently, Britney Spears got slapped in the face by some security of some NBA player. Uh, this guy was telling the story, and I was just like enraptured. But here it is. Here's the
Okay.
story of what this guy has to say. Wait, are you sharing the screen? Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Perhaps the most ridiculous headline I've ever done on 1 Minute Man. Nobody saw this one coming. It reads like Mad Libs. Britney Spears slapped in the face by the security guard of new NBA superstar Victor Wembanyama. Now, if you're not familiar, this is Victor
Look
Wembanyama.
at this guy.
He's
I-
huge.
Look at his arms. Like, holy shit.
Oh my god.
I mean, I haven't followed the NBA for a long time, but my God, who like I guess he's playing for the Spurs. The Spurs might be doing pretty well this year. Wow. Okay, here we go though.
But yeah.
Sorry, what was that, Teresa?
Oh no, I'm just saying. If he hit her, look at
No,
that.
he didn't do it.
Oh,
His
my fault.
security guard.
Oh,
His
my fault.
security-
Okay,
Yeah.
my brain went somewhere else. I have no brain right now. Okay.
No, yeah, it wasn't him. It was the security guard. But here we go.
Now, if you're not familiar, this is Victor Wembanyama, the new superstar in the NBA. Look at this guy. He's a total freak. He's like 9 feet tall. He's got a wingspan of like 100 feet. He looks like the alien from Signs. I remember his name by thinking about the Lion King. I go, Wembanyama, Victor Wembanyama. He is the new second coming of basketball. And apparently, Victor had a little dust up with Britney Spears, of all people, who played their summer league. The
Hey, speaking of
altercation
Vegas.
happened at the restaurant Catch. Now, apparently they say that Britney Spears is a fan. I don't know if that means a fan of basketball, a fan of the NBA, a fan of the Spurs, or a fan of Victor Wembanyama, but apparently she knew who he was and went up to him at the club. That's when Victor's head of security spun around and knocked Britney Spears' hands out of the way, not realizing who she was. Britney Spears said that the security guard backhanded her. His version of the story is that he hit her arms and that her hand hit herself in the face. Apparently, she fell to the ground. Her glasses got knocked off. She picked herself up, cleaned herself up, and went back over to her table. The security guard went over and apologized, but apparently she has filed charges. This whole thing is so ridiculous, I don't even know what to think. Britney Spears hasn't been out in public in 20 years, but she knows what Victor Wembanyama is. There are people who think that Britney Spears isn't even alive, yet she knows about draft prospects. And Victor Wembanyama has security slapping superstars. Bro, I've seen those arms. You can stop a bad guy from like a city block away. Free Britney.
I mean, he's got a point. Like, what the
Wait a
fuck?
second.
This guy's arms.
Britney Spears is
Like, this dude's a freaking lanky motherfucker. Like, look at this guy.
Yeah, he wasn't in danger from Britney Spears.
Like, what is going on? Oh boy.
no.
Although, like, and now I'm kind of interested in this dude. Like, meaning,
Mhm.
like, I want to see him dunk because I mean, look at his lanky ass arms. That's crazy.
Yeah, Soul Assassin says, yeah, Spurs are my city's team, so he would know, I guess.
Woo!
Yeah,
I mean, he looks like a giant. Wait, how tall is he? Let's see. What was his
He's
name?
gotta
Victor
be.
something. One Manana?
Mañana or
Victor something Manana?
I don't. Yeah, I think so. Yes. Oh dear, the Spurs used to have what the
Web
Twin Towers.
Manana.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh, wait. TMZ's reported on this. Apparently, there's new photos.
Oh,
Let's see. Okay, hold on. Here we go. We're at the celebrity gossip portion of the show.
yay!
I like
We
celebrity
like
gossip.
gossip.
Okay, so here, smacked in the face by San Antonio Spurs security, wanted pic with Victor Wembanyama. So then this very blurry photo, they're saying that this is Britney. This is Victor's security guard, and that's Victor. Well, that's clearly Victor, because I mean, look at how
Mhm.
long and lanky he
Yeah.
is. So there's the security guard, and I can see that this being Britney. I mean, it's a blonde woman.
Hmm.
Then we got Victor's security guard over here. Britney's over here. And then Britney again over here. What is this? Wait, this is just Britney arrives in Vegas. Oh, we shouldn't play it because TMZ claims everything.
Yeah.
Okay, she's just like walking down the street. Here he is signing the. Oh, wait, is this? Oh no, I thought like maybe we're gonna see him slap her.
Yeah.
Ugh, nothing good. TMZ, come on, step up your game.
Maybe they didn't actually get.
We need the slap, yo. Come on. Is
See,
he gonna-
maybe he didn't really slap her. Maybe he just kind of slapped her hand away, like you said.
Like maybe like like that guy said.
Yeah.
Brittany and Cole walked over the couch as they entering the restaurant. Brittany spotted Victor. We're told that she's a fan and went over to ask him if he could take a photo together. And she tapped him on his back right shoulder. And we're told that director of the team security for San Antonio Spurs, the team that drafted Victor last month, instantly backhanded her, causing her to fall to the ground. I don't know if I don't know if I believe this.
No, because
I don't know if I
security
believe
guards
that.
know better. They don't want to have a lawsuit any more than anyone else.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe that he would backhand her immediately, like, especially not knowing who she was. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, I mean,
I
I
don't buy that
want
story.
to. I want more information, Brittany. Sorry, and I'm sure there were witnesses.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Hmm.
Florida Poopus comes in. He's 7'5". That's damn tall.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's tall. Wait, how tall is Shaq? Let's see. Shaq
yeah.
height. I love Shaq.
Oh gosh, back in the
He's
day,
7'1". Wait, how
yeah,
tall was this guy?
7'5".
Wow, he's taller than Shaq.
Damn.
That's cool. Wait, how tall was Yao Ming?
Yeah,
Yao Ming was freaking tall. I remember Yao Ming was taller than Shaq.
yeah.
That
It,
one, that guy was. Wait,
yeah.
Yao Ming height. I don't know meters. Damn it.
Everybody translate. Yeah.
7'6".
7'6".
7'6". Wow.
Wow, that's damn tall. Yeah, Jariah's Millman, I think, makes a good point. Brittany was kind of in the wrong. She approached from behind with no warning, like sneaking up. Yeah, you don't sneak up on anyone
Agreed.
behind. Yeah.
Look, it's a llama.
Yeah. Oh, wait, a
Jariah's
llama? Wait,
lemon.
where?
Jariah's lemon photo was a llama.
Oh, hey, that's a preview for good news tomorrow.
Yeah, my good news show tomorrow is going to feature a llama.
Yeah.
As the main story.
Well, there you are. You heard it here first.
Little preview.
That's great. Well, and as we've gotten into this, before we go into the Rule 7 portion of the pub game of the pub crawl, I wanted to ask Nina if there is anything else you would like to talk about, highlight, or pontificate about before we move on.
Nothing. Well, the Madonna story is really quick. Apparently,
Okay, let's do that. I'm
she
sorry, I
was
forgot about
dead. Oh, you don't have to be. No,
Yeah.
it's fine. Apparently, according to some people, they're saying that because I don't know if you heard, but Madonna was in the ICU last week because she apparently had a really bad infection.
Yes, and I was suspicious as F. I thought it was like that weird plastic surgery.
I thought it was a plastic surgery mishap too, because usually when people get work done, they do get put on antibiotics because when you're recovering, you don't want like certain surgery things to become infected, blah 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 blah. And I think like that's my theory, and a lot of people's theory is that it was associated with plastic surgery. Now, some people are saying it's the vax, which I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot of like stuff that can be related to that, but in this case, I think that like Madonna is very well known for getting a lot of work done all the time, like routinely. And there is a lot of plastic surgery mishaps all the time. And I mean, some lady just died like recently because she did too much, and
yeah, Joan Rivers, didn't she die of botched?
That one was a little bit sus, but yes, I don't know about that one though, Teresa. We'll talk about that one later. But yes, some lady recently died. She was trying to become like Kim Kardashian look-alike, and she did too much, and then she passed away. Like it's just the way it is. Like, look, your body is not meant to take on that much plastic surgery.
No.
But now today there's been reports that Madonna had actually died and was resuscitated,
dude,
using some drug. It says Madonna was allegedly revived with Narcan before being admitted to the ICU. And Narcan is apparently used for overdoses. Like if you're overdosed and like you die by overdose, they give you this shit to bring you back. It's kind of like I guess it's a form of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Tranquilizer. Like it's like a, start your heart back up kind of thing. But now people are questioning this though, because now they're saying, well, wait, didn't she have like an infection? And now like people are just like, because it says, according to the new report, when the material 64 was found unresponsive at her home on June 24th, who reportedly found her lifeless body allegedly administered an injection of Narcan. The medicine is most commonly used to rapidly reverse a narcotic overdose in an emergency situation. However, the outlet alleges that Narcan was used to combat septic shock, not drug use. There's no evidence suggesting that the pop star overdosed, but that's the thing though. Like, could she have overdosed, but not like on like heroin or something or like cocaine? Could she have overdosed on like the drugs that they give you to put you under for like
Mhm.
the plastic surgery or like, plastic surgery drugs? Because they give you a lot of shit when they put you
Yeah.
under.
Yeah, my
So
mom, they gave her fentanyl a little so a little
wow.
bit. Well,
But yeah, I mean, like they do, they give you a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I can see why maybe she may have overdosed if there was like fentanyl involved or like, I don't know, like something harsh.
yeah,
But
or
it's all weird. So now there's a lot of people asking questions though, because they're like, if she was infected, why would she go into like this kind of thing? I mean, it just all is very bizarre. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Let me clarify. When she was with the doctor, they didn't send her home with it. That's how
No.
rumors get started. My mom listens. She sometimes listens in. She's like, "I am not a druggie."
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's I think it's kind of like an adrenaline. Oh, you know what? Let's look it up.
yeah, because
Let's
I
look
have
up
something like
Narcan.
that because I'm allergic to bees, so I carry an EpiPen, and
Yeah,
so
that's different.
yeah, a
Narcan.
little.
Let's
It's
see.
different than this, yeah, but
Yeah,
probably something she got was more intense.
drug. Let's see what it is. Narcan drug.
We know all about drugs here at Miss
Why
Martin
not?
Muses.
Wait, what the hell? This one says nasal spray. That's not the same thing at all.
No.
Wait, what is this one called again? Let me just make sure the hell? Okay, I spelled it correctly, but hang on. I'm just gonna put Narcan injection.
Okay.
Okay, apparently it's called naloxone. I
Hmm.
guess that's another word for it because that's the first thing that comes up. And naloxone is an injection is used along with emergency medical treatment to reverse the life-threatening effects known as suspected opiate narcotic overdose.
Ooh.
Naloxone injection is also used after surgery to reverse the effects of opiates during surgery. So this is what I think is very likely. I think they gave her too much opiates
Yeah.
when they did their plastic surgery. Naloxone injection is given to newborns to decrease the effect of opiates received by the parent mother prior to delivery. Naloxone injection is also a class of medication called opiate antagonist. It works by blocking the effect of opiates to relieve dangerous symptoms caused by high levels of opiates in the blood. So there you go.
Dang. Well,
The more you know.
yeah, the more you know. Well, I think we were all a little suspicious because it
Mhm.
was like Madonna's like in the hospital, but we're gonna be very vague about detail.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, I don't know. Uh, is she gonna be okay? I mean, I don't
So
trust
far, they're
anything that
saying yes. So far,
yeah.
they're saying apparently she's home and she's like gonna have a full recovery. So
Mhm.
far, apparently she's fine. I think though that yes, it says Ossery explained that Madonna was still under medical care and that a full recovery was expected. So I think
Okay.
that I think she's gonna be fine, but I have a feeling she's gonna be suing a lot of people very soon.
Yeah.
Um, Especially her probably like her plastic surgeon and
Yeah.
whoever else was involved in that whole disaster of an
Yeah.
operation. We're talking
They
about
really
Madonna
killed
here.
her.
It's not like she's lacking any money.
No, unless she herself was doing something on the side to try to
Right. I
and then it's her own
mean,
daggone fault.
yes, but that would have come out, I
That's
think.
true.
Because it like if they're doing like this much research, it would have come out in her blood, like talks like her blood reports or whatever that she had like,
Mhm.
something else in her system.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, yeah, take a lesson from the gods in the sky. Knock off the plastic surgery. I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Joria Lament said her tour is still on. I think no. it's been put on hold. And that's how we found out, actually, because they announced that she was in the ICU and that the tour has been put on hold until she makes a full recovery, which makes sense. I mean, like,
Mhm.
she's not there. Like,
Yeah.
what are
Well,
they gonna play a record of her, like a freaking hologram?
ugh.
Like, here's Madonna as a hologram. Like, I mean, they might as well. I don't know.
I mean, she doesn't look good at all. So, yeah, gosh, she
Mm-mm.
looks like an alien. And I've never been a fan of Madonna's, but she did have a certain style to her, and she's lost it because she's now plastic.
Yeah, it's over, dude. Her I'm sorry, but like her new album is freaking terrible. She just did a new song with freaking Sam Smith, and I was like, it was such a bad song. I was like, this is
Mm,
terrible. Like, it's just like it, like she's just lost it. You know how like
mhm.
you lose, like some people like lose that certain thing.
Yeah, je ne
I
sais
think
quoi.
she's just lost it. I mean, personally, I used to be the biggest Madonna fan ever. Like, I've loved Madonna for many, many years. She was a huge part of my growing up. Like, Material Girls, like
Mhm.
that was my life in Iran. Are you kidding? Um, but yeah, it's sad. Her like last best album was The Ray of Light, and after that, it's just been like steadily just
Yeah. See, that's where I think people should just take the money and run. If I had that kind of money, and she'll have the money the rest of her life, because every time anyone plays like a Virgin or any of her albums,
mhm,
she's gonna get money.
royalties.
Take that
Yeah.
take that money, enjoy yourself, go on your mansion
Well, the thing
and
is that Madonna was always a little crazy anyway. Like, Madonna's always been crazy. But now, like, she's like unchecked crazy. You know how
yeah,
sometimes like you gotta check the crazies a little bit, like the geniuses or whatever. Like, they have to have some sort of check.
yeah,
Now it's like everybody just let her be whatever. They're
yeah.
like, oh, Madonna, you want to have like 20,000 surgeries? Go for it. Like, she needs a true friend, is what she
I was
needs.
about ready to say, yeah.
Like, she needs someone to be like, "Girl, like, you gotta stop." Like, I mean, maybe somebody will tell her that now. Like, maybe they'll be
Yeah,
like, "Look, you almost died. Like, maybe you should cool it with
yeah.
this shit." Although
May
I've heard that like her son apparently pretty much disowned her. Like, he
Ooh,
lives with Guy Ritchie, like her, because I think Guy Ritchie's the dad. And like I don't know. This was a while ago though. Like, maybe they've made up since then. But I remember like he like basically didn't want to like live with her anymore, and he like moved to England to like be with the guy.
huh.
Because she's just nuts, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you wanna stay on the hinge, you don't wanna be unhinged, like, just a
Yeah,
little
yeah, just a
crazy.
little bit.
All musicians are a little crazy, present including myself, because it's almost like you have to be, because it's
Yeah,
like your brain works a different way than other
yeah.
people, but come on, Jeannie Mac, it's
I
just
kinda feel
ridiculous.
bad for her in some ways because I think, like, Madonna is such a well, she's a material girl, and I
Mhm,
think for the longest time, she, like, didn't like, she think like, you just wanna capture that youth and that moment again, and it's just like, maybe with her, it's like she's you f like, you hear about this with, like, a lot of people that they say, like, that they feel the same on the inside, like, in their mind, but their body's, like, starting to give, and, like, they
mhm,
don't feel like themselves anymore. And, like, I feel bad for her because I think, like, as much as she kinda wanted to pretend that she's very spiritually evolved, because she started to do, like, Kabbalah and, like, all this
oh
other
gosh,
stuff,
yeah,
and I think that, like, a lot of that stuff actually, like, made her worse, like, because she didn't get in touch with her true spirituality, and she just got more in touch with her physicality, and I think that she really just realized, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
mhm,
she just went overboard with everything, and I think that that kinda stuff comes when you have a better spiritual connection to yourself and a better relationship with death, and, like, understanding that, like, at some point we'll all go, at
mhm,
some point youth goes, and we're all gonna leave at some point, right? Like, you just have to, like, kinda learn to accept that, and I think a lot of these big stars don't, and I
no,
think she's very guilty of that, like, she's just like, she can't let it go, and it's very sad.
yeah. Let it go, as Elsa
Let
said.
go, let it
Yeah.
go. I hate that song, but
Yeah. It has a very good message, and, I mean, just count your blessings, people, for crying
Mhm.
out loud.
Yeah,
Yeah.
count your blessings. Like, I feel blessed that
Mhm.
I know you, Teresa,
Aw.
and that I'm here talking to you. Like,
Yay.
this is really fun, and thank you for having me on
Yeah.
today.
Oh, I was absolutely so happy we were able to find a time and everything. Your channel, of course, has taken off, and I mean, my schedule's insane, so the stars aligned for us this week. Well, let's
Yes.
yeah. So thank you, Ancient One. He's good at keeping us on all honest. Well, we're gonna now go into the roll 7 portion of it,
Ooh.
where I'm gonna roll a d20 7 times with different questions. And people in the chat, please feel free to participate. So here we go. Okay, Nina, if you could travel back in time, when would you go?
Ooh, I can only travel back?
Maybe you can come back. You can come back. I'll allow that.
No, but I mean,
somewhere
I can only travel back in time. I can't travel like to the future.
oh, correct. Yeah, only back in time.
Only back in time. That's a good question. Okay.
Mhm. And
I
it's
gotta
a
think
tricky
about
one.
this. Because I don't want to go to a period of time where they don't have soap. I can tell you that much. Like, I
Yeah,
don't want to go and like die from like, just scratching my hand.
bacteria,
Yeah,
flushing
like,
bacteria.
yeah. I don't want to go to that time period. Okay. Can it be like any time period, like at
Yeah,
all?
it's in the past. Yeah,
Like anything.
anything.
Atlantis.
Damn, yes.
I'm going to Atlantis, people.
Woohoo.
Because I don't like we know. So we don't really know what the hell is going on in those civilizations. I would go to a previous civilization. If that's Atlantis, then Atlantis. Whatever like futuristic style you know, civilization that was there, but it's in our like so far in our past that we've forgotten it. That's where I
Yeah,
would go.
that's. Oh, and then you could come back and write Atlantis, the true story.
Right. Exactly.
Atlanteans
Yeah,
probably
see,
had soap.
Atlantis probably had soap.
Yes. Yeah,
Exactly.
thank you, Jar.
That's why I would
Jessica.
go there.
Yeah. That was 10. Well, I
Yeah.
said anytime. Yes. A lot of people have gone back to the dawn of time to check things out. Some have gone to talk to Socrates. You just never know.
No, I definitely wouldn't go to anywhere like near our like modern times. Like
Mhm.
I don't want to see the 70s, could care less. Like,
Yeah.
no, I don't really care about any. Like, no, I'm not going back to like the 1920s when there's no women's rights. Like, nah, like, no. I'm going back, like, way back. That's almost like the future, because time
Okay.
is irrelevant, anyways.
It's
So,
all a circle. Wait, it's the wheel of time.
it-
All right. Let's see. Second question. What's the one thing you can't live without?
love.
Oh.
Is that a lame answer? Like, do you want a better one?
No, it's love. I mean, I'm just like, oh, some people have said coffee and stuff, but I'm like, yeah, love. Actually, we can't live without love. We would
Yeah,
die.
I can't live without love. Like, I
Oh,
just like thought about my husband and my cat and like my mom and
you know,
and the common denominator there that like connects us friends is love. So
yeah,
love is the answer.
love is all we need.
Love. See, I'm such a hippie. I
Yeah,
told you.
a hippie at heart. All right. Oops. Wait, I missed it. This is like a real D&D game where every time I
You lose
roll,
your
roll
life.
every time I roll the same number, I'm like, I need to go play the lottery or something. Here we are.
Yeah, or like the best guys is when Teresa would roll the dice and it would like fall off our table and then she would just start cursing and I'm like, okay, Teresa's dice fell down again.
Yeah. Well, I've got a little tray thing now that prevents it, and I have lots of doubles. Like, so if I lose it or it goes under the table, I can
Mhm.
just grab the other one. But the next question is, what would you do with $1 million?
Ooh, that's a question. Well, first things obviously first, I would make sure that like, my friends and family is taken care of. Like, my mom, I would make sure she's got a house and whatever else, like, for her retirement. And then whatever's left over, like obviously like same with us, like make sure like everything's, just settled.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I have anything left over, I would probably go to space. I would really
Nice.
like to I would really like to get on one of those space shuttle things. Like the Elon Musk ones or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, I want to go to orbit. I want to see the planet from space.
Dang, that's a great answer. Just like William Shatner did.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
I've
go.
thought about it. I've thought about it a lot. I mean, I would like to say like I would give it all to charity or something, but come on, give me a break. In reality, I'd go to space.
Go to space. The poor you will always have with you.
I'd pay the taxes on it first. Look, this also depends. If I am smart, I would have bought my lottery in Canada, and in Canada, you don't get taxed on lotto.
Oh, yeah. Oh, oh gosh, Soul Assassin. Correct. No submarine trips.
No submarine trips. Hell to the no. Okay. See, I was never interested in submarine trips, anyways. Like, I'm like, if we're gonna go somewhere,
Mhm.
going to space. Like, I'm not going
Yeah.
to the freaking ocean.
Yeah.
No thanks.
If you want to see Titanic, just look at pictures for crying out loud.
Right? Like, go watch the freaking 4K documentary that like James Cameron made. It's like you're
Right.
there.
Mhm. Yeah, and you won't implode. Nita would write her name on the
I
news.
would.
Darn right.
I would. It's true.
Yep.
This is what I would do. I would love to go to the moon. I mean, if that was an option, but it's still not an option yet. So you just have to go to the orbit. But
Yeah.
moon is my ultimate dreams to go to the moon.
Yeah, one of these days
One of them.
we'll be able to go. It'll be
Well,
like
I think Teresa. I mean, you read the book, I'm sure, but Arthur C. Clarke's elevator, like the space elevator.
oh yeah.
I have no doubt that that's going to be a thing at some point
Mhm.
in our lifetime. Well, not in our lifetime, but in our reality, I think that that's going to be a thing.
Yeah, next 100, 200 years for
Yeah.
sure. Because like look at the advances that we've done already. If you look at like the 1700s, it's insane. All right, what's your favorite excuse when you are late?
Oh, my favorite excuse when I'm late. Well, in Canada it was traffic, because that could very well be true.
Mhm.
In Mexico, I don't necessarily really need a reason because everyone's late everywhere. So I haven't really been like, because nobody cares if you're late here. They're just like, oh, whatever, like, because it's
Yeah.
Mexico. But I guess my favorite excuse would be, probably traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Usually people are pretty understanding with that. Well, yeah, traffic.
Yeah.
Can't really do anything about that.
No.
So traffic.
And usually it's true because when you're running late, that's when you hit every single red light.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Number 6. Let's see. What fictional place would you most like to go to and why?
Ooh, that's a good question, Teresa. Fictional place. Wow. I'm like trying to think now. There's so many.
Yeah.
Only one.
Yeah. Lots of fun things to choose from.
Definitely nothing bad. Like,
No.
like I don't, definitely not, like, I'm not going to like no freaking Terminator world or like,
No.
like no dystopian shit.
Yeah.
I'm
We
trying
already
to think
lived
of
in
like,
one.
I'm trying to think of like a paradise place. Like where would, but paradise like in a good way, meaning like not commie. This is difficult for me.
Yeah. Well,
Star Trek.
Oh,
That's where I
okay.
would go.
Go hang out at the Federation and
Yes, I would go hang out with the Federation.
all right.
That is what I would do.
Yeah. The land of Honolulu up the Magic Dragon, Soul Assassin Wonderland, and trip out on the T. Yeah.
I would go to Star Trek because when you have access to basically like the amenities like the Federation, you can have access to a spaceship. You go anywhere.
That's
So I
true.
would go wherever I wanted, and I wouldn't necessarily join the Federation. But I'm not the Federation, Starfleet. But I would be part of the Federation, and I could go wherever I wanted. Maybe I'd go to Risa. That sounds like it's basically like a planet that's like Cancun, but a planet.
Yeah, that's where all the fun happens on Star Trek.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like a plan. Oh, I think that's the live long, yeah, live long and prosper. I always say probably I'd want to go to Hobbiton, just hang out with the hobbits and sing
See, that's
songs.
fun. That's
Yeah.
fun. See, no, not the Expanse universe. Mm-mm. It's too like
It's not happy enough.
no. There's no happiness. Like
Yeah.
they're like weird outer, like the inners and the outers are all like nobody gets along. Like we're already living that. It's like that's why the Expanse is annoying to me because it's like we basically took our bullshit with us to space, and I was like.
Mhm.
I don't necessarily like stories like that. I like it. I like Star Trek because Star Trek like tells you you've evolved past a certain points. Like your stupid human stuff is like over now, you know.
Yeah.
So I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, there you are. Yeah.
I'm a hopeful girl. What can I tell you?
Yeah. I mean, who wants to go be sad? Things are bad enough
Yeah,
in the real world. All right. If you could remove one invention from the world, what would it be and why?
one invention.
Mhm.
You know, my immediate thought went straight to the internet,
Yeah.
but then I was like, then I want to have this conversation with you, Teresa. So
Exactly. We would never have met.
yeah, it's difficult. That's a
I know.
difficult one. One invention. I like a lot of things.
Yeah.
I
know. Yeah. This.
One invention. Everything has a use, though, you know?
Yeah. Most inventions do. Well, some people have said like the atom bomb. I guess technically that's an invention.
Atom
See.
bomb. No, because the atom bomb could lead to something good,
Yeah.
like nuclear power, nuclear energy.
Yeah. Maybe AI? I don't know, because I'm thinking AI is probably what's gonna kill us all, actually, not nuclear bombs.
I think I'm going to go with my initial one,
Okay.
the internet.
All right. Screw the
Yeah.
internet.
We don't need it. I would
Mm.
like to go back to a simple time where people read books and went outside.
Mhm.
And you know, once in a while they would watch TV. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's fine. I think I'm gonna go with the internet.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a hard one because we do have so many benefits. For example, what we're doing right now, or when you have world events that maybe aren't being covered by the MSM, so citizen journalists can spread it around the world. We didn't have that ability before, but
That's
I
true, but we also didn't have TikTok
that's true. Oh gosh.
and
Yes.
Twitter and like, you know, all this weird shit that they're making kids do now. So
That's
I'm like,
true. Yeah.
I don't know.
And
I think sometimes I would like to go back to simpler times.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I used to do Civil War reenacting, and it was really fun just for the weekend. No technology, only candlelight, cooking over the fire. When we wanted to entertain ourselves, we played things like checkers, or we sang, or we sang around the campfire, or we played instruments and just danced amongst ourselves. That was
That was a good
it was
time.
fun. Yeah.
Minus the soap, like not having soap. Like
You
other
see
than
that
that,
Yeah, I was about
pretty
to
good
say
time.
that's the part that drove me nuts. And trust me, you were ready by the time because you usually get there on Friday and then leave on Sunday evening, and then it's like I need a shower.
Right.
I need a proper shower. Yeah, it's all a little bit overwhelming.
The Zach always says the wheel. Like, dude, no. Like the wheel that's a useful invention.
I
You
was going
need
to
the
say
wheel.
that changed everything.
Literally changed everything.
Yeah, too much information, said Jariah's lament. It
Yeah.
is a little overwhelming. Yeah, it's
It's a double-edged sword, man. The internet's a double-edged sword. It can be really good, but it can also be extremely bad. And I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of the stuff that you know, you've seen in that movie, Teresa, that, you know, is doing really well.
Yes.
All because of the internet, man. Like there's a lot of that kind of stuff. I mean, it used to happen too, like back in the day, but it became so much more prevalent after the internet.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of things wouldn't be possible, about that. Actually, I'm gonna be doing a review of that tomorrow, The Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should. I mean, I
yeah.
really would like to see it. Unfortunately, we do not have it in Mexico. I looked. I was like, I want to go
Mhm.
watch it. But apparently, Michelle told me that you or not YouTube, Twitter has offered to put it on their platform for free
Dude.
in a few weeks. So
Oh,
apparently Elon Musk has said that that they're allowed to put it on there for people like me who can't watch the movie everywhere, like if this
yeah.
is not playing like everywhere. And apparently like he's basically offered to give them like the ad money or whatever kind of revenue they make. He's gonna give it to them.
I hope so. Yeah, because it was bad. Obviously, I mean, had to take like an hour to calm down. Not calm down. That's the wrong word. To come away from what they were showing. And of course, obviously, they couldn't show certain things, but they didn't have to. Like they would just
You
show
already
like
know.
you know what it is. And like say for example when they were going through when they'd catch a pervert and they were going through the computer, what they would do is they would just show Jim Caviezel's face and his acting reacting, so you knew exactly what he was seeing. Just very disturbing, but I think a very important movie.
I think
So
like that's I definitely like don't get me wrong, Teresa. I definitely want to watch that movie, but
mhm,
even if they were playing it in the theater, I don't know if I'd go to the theater for it. Just
mhm,
because like I like would want to be in my house where I can like freely ugly cry because I know I'll be like bawling my
mhm.
eyes out. And I don't want
Yeah.
to sit there like crying with people like being around me. It's just such a
Mm,
private matter, you know. You're like,
yeah. Well, yeah, it was more I mean, I'll tell
you have
you, there were some
time.
moments where I gasped, actually, and some of the audience did just because of the evil
Yeah.
that we and
It's
so
dark, man.
yeah, it's dark as hell, but, at the end of it, Jim Caviezel actually gave a message during the credits that I thought was really nice. It kinda
Mm,
helped,
yeah.
it's like Jim Caviezel's helping us through this. So I hope that it will get onto the internet, and it will be probably not really a spoiler review, but it's hard to spoil something that's a true story. But
Right. Yeah.
yeah, but I think it's important. So I'm gonna do a brief review of
You
it.
should you should definitely do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think having this conversation actually solidified my answer, the internet. I would get rid of
Yeah, give it to the end. Yeah, I mean, oh, yeah. But,
because I
but
can't be like, I'll get rid of pedophiles. They're not a technology. So
exactly. They've always been there, but
yeah.
on the other hand, that's also how they're being caught. So double-edged sword.
Yeah, again, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Such a weird thing.
yeah, so stay tuned, everybody, and I know that this is going to be a movie people are going to be talking about for a very, very long time, and especially if what you say about Elon Musk comes to pass. Oh my gosh, that will be amazing. So
Yeah.
good
I mean,
stuff.
I think that's really cool that he's doing that. I think he's going to. Is this the movie that Mel Gibson was producing? Because I know he's doing another movie about.
No, he endorsed it. It was actually produced by Eduardo, and I'm going to butcher his name, Ver something or other, and
Okay.
he plays a I'm going to butcher it. Vera Stedui. He produced it, and it was directed by another name I will butcher,
So he
but
just endorsed it then? Because I know that like
yeah.
Mel Gibson was doing something to do with child trafficking, like a movie about it, but
It's
I don't
very
know.
possible. When he and Jim Caviezel, are very close, and they work together with
Okay, then
the
this is the same
Passion of the
movie
Christ,
then.
and they're making the Resurrection of the Christ right now. And Eduardo, whose last name I can't say, he's also worked with all of them. He did a very, very powerful movie, pro-life movie back 20 years ago or so called Bella. So it
What is this movie called again? Something Freedom?
Oh, Sound of Freedom,
Sound of
and
Freedom.
yeah, it has a if you will, a happy ending, but,
Well, yeah,
because
because
you
it's based on the true story of the guy
yeah,
and
and
what
he
he
re he
did.
and it's true that he rescued I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
spoiler to say he rescued hundreds of children, it's just the fact that it's even happening,
Yeah.
that's what it is, but,
Yeah, and the guy see, this is why it's so surprising because the guy that directed the movie is Mexican.
mhm,
So, I'm so surprised that his movie's not playing in Mexico. Like, I'm
yeah.
just kind of, like, really shocked about that.
Well, they had trouble with getting anyone to release this movie. This movie was made 5 years ago, and
Oh,
it's taken them
no.
this long, and it was Angel Studios that finally distributed it, and they were able to get, I think, a crap ton of money because they started the Chosen, the Jesus show. So,
Mm.
they're paying it forward, and it's able to produce it, and they actually have more movies that they're making. I think it's very encouraging to see independent studios
Yeah,
outside of
that's really
Hollywood.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and, so that's the story there, and they do have a place where if you wanna donate tickets or something to people, so it's very possible that they weren't able to get international distribution. It might just be domestic, so
Yeah, I mean, I'm
because
just surprised because the director is Mexican, and usually Mexican cinema, like, is really about, like, if,
Mhm,
like, a director's Mexican or, like, the people
yeah,
who worked on the movies are Mexican, like, they're like,
national
"Yes,
pride.
Mexican cinema," like, they're very yeah,
Mhm.
but I guess maybe the subject matter is just way too fucked up, so they're like,
Yeah, well,
"Uh."
and they kinda bring up, well, we all know who's behind a lot of it, and it rhymes with Hartel. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I
So
think that
maybe that's why, but
there's been a
yeah.
lot of factors behind this, but it's a very good and it's a very inspiring movie. Dryas Lament says it blew away Indian dial dementia, which makes me happy. Yeah, proportionally, it did. And obviously, it did not make as much, but when you think about the budget, the size of the movie, and how much it has made this week in only a few days, proportionally compared to the
It beat indie.
yeah. Well, it didn't beat Indy because it's only made like $20 million. So, but it beat it proportionally.
I thought
It's
it did. I heard it did. That's
well,
surprising.
well, I don't think they made more than 100. Well, because Indy made like 100 million, didn't it, or something? I don't
I don't
know.
know, let me check.
Everyone, Google.
Yeah,
Did
I'm Googling.
um,
But I think you're right. I think it was proportionate too.
mhm,
I think as tweeted about it.
it's possible. Yeah, beat. Yeah.
Okay, here's the
Well,
numbers. This was July 4th though. So this was
mhm.
a couple days ago. But as tweeted out that um it
Oh,
it grossed higher like initially
got it.
than
This is what it
Indiana
was.
Jones.
On Independence Day, that's what it was.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, because I knew that they didn't make as much movie. Yeah, so on
Yeah, the
Independence
total
Day,
gross is yeah,
yeah.
is
So, and that's
obviously not.
amazing. And that was the day it opened. So more
But I mean,
people
like,
on
we're talking about Indiana freaking Jones here,
yeah,
and then some random movie about child trafficking,
yeah, Indiana Jones should have blown it.
like way out of the park.
Yeah, yeah. They should have been printing money, but I think that says a little bit about it. And that's another reason why I wanted to see it in the cinema as
Yeah,
opposed to waiting because I wanted to
you
vote
wanted to
with my
support
ticket.
that.
Yes,
I get it. I get
and
it.
it was I went to, like, at 11 o'clock in the morning showing, and it was, what, almost half full, which at that
Wow.
time, that's a lot for that time. Usually, there's only, like, 2 or 3 people on an early showing, and it's I think it's gonna continue to pick up momentum, and I just love Jim Caviezel so more than life itself, so, I mean, his performance was amazing. If we lived in a different world, he would easily get an Oscar for that performance, but
You know what? Like, dude, just in the trailer,
mhm.
because I saw the trailer and I was like, damn, this guy's putting in a performance of a lifetime.
Yes.
Mind you, the subject matter is so hard that
Mhm.
I feel like if you're a sold person and you're playing that part, like, you would probably put as good of a performance as he did, just because it's like it's such
The
a fucking crazy thing, right? Like, you'll be
yeah.
like but dude, he looks like he freaking killed it in this movie, and, yeah, you're
Yes.
right, and in any other time or world or whatever, if it wasn't Clown World, he would be getting all the awards right now.
Yeah. And I did tweet out, on it that there's an app, it's called Hallow, where, they have prayers and all that, and he actually has a series that goes along with this movie, a series of prayers, and I really needed them after the movie. That was part of my coming down because it
Oh.
was but it's cool that, because he's a man of faith, and so it about defending us from evil and just lots of things to just kind of make you feel better. And I'm like, Jim Caviezel, you are too good for this freaking planet. I
Aw,
love him so much.
that's great.
Yeah,
You can also come watch Infinite Hope after you watch that movie so that
darn
you can
right.
get a little
Yeah,
bit right
you'll
pill.
need it.
I literally was like last night, I was like, I need Infinite Hope so bad. Like this week has been just like again, it's like a constant like negativity like all the time. I'm like, when
Mhm.
is Friday coming? Like I just need
Yeah,
I need some good news.
yeah. Good News Friday, and that's how you are so good at anticipating me because I was about ready to say, where can we find you and what do you have going on?
Well, you can find me on my channel, Nina Infinity. There it is. That's the
Y-
name. It's the same thing everywhere pretty much, except for like my socials, which is Nina7 Infinity, because somebody was already Nina Infinity everywhere. But yeah, you can find me on my channel. And tomorrow, Friday, Infinite Hope at 2 p.m. Eastern. It's my favorite live stream. Come and
Yay.
hang out with me if you want to be white pilled, because we have a lot of good stories, especially with llamas.
Llamas.
And
Llama
cute.
drama.
There's many stories. There's a story about a guy that's doing 143 good deeds. There's a story about a duck and a bull that are friends. There's a lot of good stories.
Yay.
Come and hang out with me. Trust me, I'll make you feel better.
Yeah, there you go. Ancient One's got it all here. And he's been wanting us all to have a tea party. It was all my fault because me and Lady Toriel were doing a royal stream talking about the royal family, and we were
Mm.
saying we were having a tea party, and then it's like it would be Nina Infinity. So ancient,
Oh, I love that.
yeah. So ancient one wants it to happen,
I'm
but
down. I love tea.
yeah, we all love tea here at Miss Smart Muses. I drink it all the time,
Hi,
but
tea.
yeah, but thank you for putting the links in the chat, and he's been in there, and of course all the mods have been great, and hopefully you're going to be playing Conan again on
Yeah,
Sunday, maybe.
hopefully maybe this Sunday. If not, we'll be hanging out doing something on my channel on Sunday. So that's the other
Yay.
thing. Usually it's at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm. And okay, and you'll also see her on various different channels guesting, and you have a Wednesday night show, the Breaking
Yeah.
the Narrative.
Yeah, breaking the narrative on Wednesdays. That's my Blackfield show where I usually
Mhm.
talk about Clown World stuff. Last night I had Eric July on. That was really fun. So if you missed that, you can go check that out. That was a really fun show.
Well, there you go.
And yeah, just it's a really fun channel. I think it's kind of like all over the place, but it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I've seen you back before you didn't really have a channel when we first met you, and I remember you did your first video,
Yeah,
and
it was my dark review.
yes, it was. It's cute. And then now look at you. What, you're up to 22,000 subs or
Yeah,
more?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
22.
So everyone, please give her a
Like
sub. And
I'm
we'll
like
continue.
freaking like crawling towards 23, and then like
Mhm.
YouTube will just like take subs away, and I'm like, okay, whatever, man. I don't even care.
Yeah, no, if you think too hard about it, you'll go crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, of course, you can find me here on Miss Martin Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. As I said, I'm going to be doing a review of Sound of Freedom. My Close Encounters of the Soulfish kind is still being edited. This is my white whale. This is my whole Moby Dick. I will get this done. I've been working on this for 6 months about the music behind Close Encounters of the Third Kind and how the aliens communicated with the humans. Also,
Do, 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 do.
exactly, Ray, Ray me do do so. There's a method to the whole thing. And let me see. Oh, no book stream. We are done with our book stream. We did it for 2 years, but we will be continuing to be doing live streams every now and then with the Fantasy Tavern. And if you all wouldn't mind like, sharing, and subscribing, but especially watching my material right now, I am so close. I have less than 200 hours to get now to get to monetization. So if you all wouldn't mind maybe watching some of my playlists and sampling some materials,
Do
it
it.
would be, yeah, it'll be great. So thank you very much, everybody. And all my mods, Joy as Lament. I can't. So many people have been in and out. I can't thank you all because it keeps jumping. But if I don't mention your name, that's not because I don't appreciate you. Everyone that comes here to Miss Martin Muses. So Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. Whoops, this is the wrong button. And be certain to watch good news tomorrow.